Welcome back to the Scotti-BYTE channel, and this is Scott. So I did something pretty exciting this week and maybe just a little bit crazy. I went and upgraded my UDM Pro to the new UDM Beast. However, unlike other videos who describe all the features and characteristics, capacity, and capabilities of the UDM Beast, I'm feeling compelled to beat it up just a little bit here. So what you're looking at is an absolutely smoothly running UDM Beast. What I did was I backed up my UDM Pro, and after I did that backup to the cloud, I went ahead and deinstalled the UDM Pro from the rack, installed the UDM Beast, and then during the setup, I restored that cloud-based backup. It restored absolutely flawlessly and appears to be up and running 100% perfectly. Except, I noticed massive improvements. So my UDM Pro used to run right around 90% CPU utilization, at best maybe 75% CPU utilization, and memory was always running right around, let's say, 92% utilization. And here we've got 12% and 52%, so much better. Everybody that does videos about the UDM Beast say, well, no home labber needs this because they don't have 7,000 nodes and they don't have hundreds or thousands of Unify switches and access points. But that's really not what it's all about. In fact, I argue that the Unify OS ecosystem is expanding. I happen to use Unify Network, Unify Protect, and Unify Talk. But I have to say that, Access, I could see using it in the future, and they're adding several other applications. So I think fast forward 2 years from now, we're going to see so many more applications that are going to be running in Unify OS, and that additional CPU and memory is really going to be a huge point. All right, so obviously I had problems. And the problems I have are that when I look at my monitoring, whether it's in NetAlertX or Uptime Kuma or Godify, I'm seeing all kinds of messages that are indicative of my systems bouncing, going up and down. And that's probably because my environment, I think, is fairly complex, although it did run perfectly over the UDM Pro. I mean, I'm running Incus, I'm running Docker, I'm using VRRP in order to be able to have more resilient and more available services. I'm using Nginx Proxy Manager, I'm using VPNs. Obviously, I'm doing hairpin NAT, which is what you do when you access services from inside your network using your subdomain. It kind of reflects back from the main LAN. I'm doing split DNS in many cases. I'm monitoring lots of systems. I got lots of reverse proxies and tons of containers. So here I'm only monitoring like 68 containers, but as we speak, you can see that things are going up and down, and yet the network is quiet. I'm the only one here, and nothing is really happening. If I go over to Godify is constantly saying that things are coming up and down. In fact, in that particular case, it said NetAlertX went down. And NetAlertX did not go down. It's positively up. If I go over here and click on my NetAlertX, it will come up and run. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. So it came up and it's running, yet it was just now this second reported that it was down. And when I was on the UDM Pro, I didn't have any of this type of thing taking place. And now it is anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds. I see some kind of a down message. And if it's running really great, NetAlertX just came back up again. Imagine that. And if I'm really lucky that maybe every 5 minutes I see some kind of an outage, which is kind of unusual. So originally I thought this was hairpin NAT causing an issue. However, I have a whole ton of services here that are nothing but local addresses. They don't go through an Nginx proxy manager, and they don't use certificates, and they don't do anything else. They originate internally and they stay internal to the network. And yet those things are having problems being accessed, and those are showing them going up and going down. So I think there's something different about the actual firmware on the UDM Beast. Clearly there is a problem with NAT reflection and hairpin behavior, but I think that I've looked at everything like the port forwards and the firewall rules, and then I think I'm seeing some contract and offload issues on the new gateway as well. So honestly, what I'm experiencing is really kind of a problem if what you want to do is run a production network. And here I go back to my menu as we're talking, and you see a whole bunch of things red. At certain times, you can see everything red on my lab dash menu. And then they come back up and everything is green. For example, right now it shows Keep as red. It means it's completely unable to reach it. If I click on it, it'll sit there and think for a while. And like I said, there it goes. It actually comes up and Keep is running. It's just a very up and down sort of thing. At times things are reachable, and then at other times they're not reachable. Clearly this system has not been tested. I mean, I don't think that I'm any more complex than most home labbers out there trying to run these applications, but what I am seeing is I'm seeing a definite problem. So I don't know if I am planning on keeping this device or not. I got online, asked a few questions. Ubiquiti wasn't much help. So hopefully somebody else in the user community might be able to provide some input on this, but the gateway itself is stable. It's running just fine. I suppose it would run best if I had no servers behind it whatsoever. Then it would probably be really stable. And maybe that's what I need to do, get rid of all my applications. I'm being a little facetious here, but guys, Ubiquiti clearly released this way before time. I don't see how anybody can't see that. And I think that when it comes down to it, the other videos I've watched only address the hardware. They didn't address does it actually work. And so at this point, I guess I am just a little bit dismayed, and I don't know what else to say. If any of you all have some input, I'd be interested in hearing about it. So I guess somewhat in summary, I would recommend that Ubiquiti rename this from the UDM Beast to something like the UDM Badger, because it certainly has badgered all of my applications. Anyway, that's it for today. Please subscribe and like to the channel, and don't forget to hit your notification bell, and we'll see you next time.